So today we are looking at distributive property. So with the distributive property, it just means that you're sharing what's on the outside with what's in the bracket, basically. So it's generally multiplication of what's inside the bracket with what's outside the bracket. So I have three different types of examples for us to go through. So the first example is with a basic number without any variable attached to it and the bracket. So for this, it's just simply multiplying what's inside the bracket by what's on the outside. And both terms, so these are terms, so both of them must be multiplied by what's outside. So it will be 6 multiplied by the 4x, and then it will be 6 multiplied by the 1. So 6 times 4, that gives you 24. And then you'll just put back your x, and then 6 multiplied by 1 is 6. And whatever sign is between, you just put it back. And that's it for this type of example. So this one is the simplest. Now this type, it's still what's on the outside, the entire thing that's on the outside multiplied by each term that is on the inside. So now this is 2x multiplied by 3x. So you can break it out by saying the coefficients will be multiplying each other and the variables will be multiplying each other. So it will be basically 2 times 3, and that gives you 6. Now then you'll just focus on the x's. So x times x, that's x squared. Because any variable multiplied by itself will just increase the power by 1. So if this was x squared times x, it will just increase it by 1, so it will be x to the cube or so. So once you're multiplying two same variables, whatsoever the power is for the highest one, you'll just add 1 to it and you will get the final answer. So because this is plus, you'll just put back plus. If it was a subtraction, you'll put it in between. So now 2x multiplied by 4. So it's coefficients times a, so the numbers will multiply each other. So it's 4 times 2, and that gives you 8, and then you'll just put back your variable. And that one is finished. So these two are the simplest form. But this type now, they sometimes give persons a little challenge. So there's this law that you can use, the FOIL method. So the first number will be multiplying each other. The first number will be multiplying the last one. Then you will have the inner one multiplying the first, and then it will be multiplying the last. So it's first, then outer, inner, then last. So that's how the FOIL one came about. So let's focus on it now. So this says 3 times 4x. So you would have learned from here how to multiply these two variables. So 3x times 4x, that will give you 12x squared. Then, because the sign here is a plus, you'll put your plus, then 3x times 1, that gives you 3x. Now, this sign is a plus, so you'll continue plus. So 2 multiplied by 4x, that gives you 8x. And then 2 multiplied by 1 gives you 2. And because this is a plus, you will keep that there. Now when you get here, you'll have to simplify it. So because this x, you realize that there's a 2 here, then you look at this x, there's nothing there. This x, nothing. So this term is not the same as those, so you will write it back. So that's 12x squared. Put your plus sign. Now you will focus on these two. This x and this x, because they are the same, you can add both terms together. Because these are what you call like terms. So 3x plus 8x. So it's basically adding numbers together. So 3 plus 8. That's basically what you're doing. So 3 plus 8 is 11. So you put your 11. Because the variable x is attached, you write it back. So whatever variable was there, you would just simply write it back. Plus, because there's a plus here. Now, if you look, this is the only one in the equation, or this expression rather, that does not have a variable attached to it. So it is unlike the others. So you'll just simply write it back. And that's it. So once you're dealing with distributive property, you're just simply multiplying out what's outside of the bracket by what's inside of the bracket. And considering how this one is, I'm going to just simply write one here now and just simply show you exactly what would happen if one of these signs was a subtraction sign. So simply put 3, I'll even just use the same one, 3x plus open bracket 2, open bracket 4x minus 1. So if it was, you would simply do the same thing. So it would be 3 times 4x, giving you 12x squared. Then it would be 3 times 1, but because there's a minus sign here, you'll put a minus there and put a 3x. Then you move over to this one. So 2 times 4x, and that would be plus 8x. Then, because this is a subtraction sign, 2 times that, you'll just put minus 2. So you realize, because there's a minus sign before this, when you're multiplying these two, you have to put the sign before it. And for here now, because this still has a negative sign before it, when you're multiplying 2 by the 1, you have to keep your negative sign. So when you get to here now, you're going to apply the rules or the laws of integers. So this is unlike the others because its x has a 2, so you'll simply write it back. So you'll get 12x squared. Now these two, this is a negative, this is a positive. So once they have two different signs, you'll just simply subtract the smaller number from the larger one. So 8 minus 3, that gives you 5. You'll attach back your variable, x. Then for the sign that should go between them now, you look at both digits, 3 and 8, and you consider to yourself, which number or which digit is bigger. So because 8 is bigger than 3, you'll take the sign that is before the 8. So whichever number is bigger, you'll take the sign that is before it and put it between. So 8 is bigger, so the plus sign should go here. Now the 2 is not similar or like anything else, so you'll just simply put back your minus 2. So these are the basic forms of the application of the distributive property in math at the CXC level. So you continue practicing and work hard, and you'll be able to master the distributive property of mathematics. Thanks for watching, and tune in again with Mr. Brown for some other mathematical enhanced knowledge.